Welcome back to another episode of The Blueprint, sponsored by Slow Burn Brakes. I'm your host, Calvin Custance. On The Blueprint, we interview talented athletes and they share knowledge that they have collected over their time playing their sport. From balancing life and relationships to recruiting and training, there is always something you can learn. This week's guest is Abby Hornberger. Abby is a recent graduate of Regina High School and is playing her college softball at Princeton University. She is a 4-year varsity starter and captain, and was a part of the 2019 state champion winning Regina softball team. She was also her student class president and valedictorian. Welcome to the show, Abby.
So today we have Abby Hornberger, who's a Regina softball player that's going to Princeton for college. Yes, Princeton. Yes, the super high academic Ivy League school, Princeton. So congratulations on that. But your hard work has paid off.
Thank you.
So first, we're going to start with some basic questions, just to get to know you and for the audience to get to know you. So first off, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food is probably sushi. I love sushi, love seafood.
Where do you get it? Like a certain restaurant, or do you get like a store that has it?
I like Ronin in Royal Oak. It's for down by Woodward. Love Ronin.
I've never had that, but again, I don't really eat sushi, so.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta try it.
I guess I do. Favorite class at school?
My favorite class I ever took, it was called History Through the Film. So we would watch like historical fiction movies, like we watched like Argo, Saving Private Ryan, and we would like learn about the history behind it and then watch the movie. It was fun. It was very interesting too.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a good idea for a class. I've never like heard of stuff like that, but
it was cool to like actually like watch the movies and like know the history behind it. I felt very like smart and informative.
What was your favorite movie you watched in that class?
Oh, my favorite movie? Okay, we watched The Wizard of Oz. I liked that one a lot.
What is that historically?
It was, oh my God, what was the time period? It was something about in the early 1800s. Oh, the Gilded Age, like the Golden Age, how like the yellow brick road's supposed to be like gold, and learning about how they like miners are trying to find gold, and so like how the characters in Wizard of Oz are trying to find like gold, I guess, and like the yellow brick road, that type.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never.
It's kind of like a stretch, but like it's there.
Yeah, it's just in theory it's there. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Favorite movie, like not just in general, not just from that class.
Okay, in general, Mamma Mia. I love Mamma Mia. Love the soundtrack. I'm a big Mamma Mia fan.
Are you a musical person? Like a musical fan?
Okay, I don't sing, but I like listening to music, or like if there's like a dance floor, I'm on the dance floor with my friends. I'm a very like moving, energetic person. But I guess you could say musical in the sense of not singing.
Gotcha. All right. And then what's your favorite song? Or favorite genre or favorite artist? Just.
Oh, okay. So I'm a big country music fan.
Yeah.
So probably right now I'm into a lot of like Cole Swindell, Morgan Wallen type vibe, because I've been streaming that because I was not at Faster Horses because I was in California. So probably that right now.
Yeah, I'm not a huge country fan. I have no clue who the first person was, and I only know the second person is because I've been compared. Like I've been told I look like him before. So basically, what happened is I was in my school did Guys and Dolls, which was a musical, and I had one of the leads. So I shaved my beard and just had the mustache, and with what my hair looked like at the time, that people said I looked like him, and I got like annoyed.
I can kind of see it right now because he's in his long hair phase too. Yeah, I see it.
So I know who he is now, but yeah, I've never really been a huge country fan, but I respect it. So, you play
as long as you respect it.
Yeah. Do you play any video games?
No, I'm not a big video game person. My brother is. I'm a big like a Netflix person. That's like what I do in my downtime.
What's your favorite TV show?
Oh, okay. So currently I'm finishing Criminal Minds, like the whole 15 seasons. I'm on the last season of Criminal Minds.
15 seasons. Wow. What's that about? It sounds pretty self-explanatory to me, but
yes, it's like a bunch of FBI agents. They get like a new case in a new city every week, and they just go out and solve it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's like the basic gist of it.
Do you watch Stranger Things at all?
I have not seen the new season because I'm a one show at a time type of gal. I cannot multitask. I need to be just focused on one. So my goal is to finish Criminal Minds and then watch Stranger Things.
How long have you been watching Criminal Minds? Like, how long has it taken you to watch 15 seasons of it?
Probably my whole high school.
Are you
Getting close to that.
serious?
Yeah, getting close. Yeah.
So you've only watched one show your entire high
Okay,
school?
so no, okay, I have taken breaks like in
Oh, I was
between.
about to say. I
So
was
like
like,
yeah,
that's being committed.
I take breaks in between. So like what was the big one that came out that I watched? I'm trying to think of shows that I've like taken a break to watch. I could not tell you off the top of my head, but I have taken breaks and like watched other stuff. I'm not just on the one show.
Okay. Hey, that makes sense. I thought you like watched
No.
4 straight years of just Criminal Minds. I was like, that is dedication. Favorite flavor of sunflower seeds?
Oh, that's a good one. I like the Taco Bell kind.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I'm okay. I love Mexican food too. Like I love going out to Mexican restaurants and they're just good. Cause like the basic ones they're just basic. Like they're not bad, but they're not like amazing. And then like the ranch is just mid to me. I don't know if that's controversial.
Oh, ranch is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Taco Bell the best though. Those ones.
What's your least favorite?
I think I've had the ones that were like sweet, not sweet and sour, but they're like salty and sweet.
Sweet and spicy or whatever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, those are the worst. So so basically my last 2 guests were both baseball players, Aiden Manzella and Carlo Corona from my school, Frazier and Chippewa. But both of their favorites were sweet and spicy. And I was like, it's unbelievable to me that like someone can actually like that. I think it's actually terrible.
I don't like those.
Because the sweet's not good. And then like, I don't know. It's just it's not a good combination either. So
like on my travel team, we do not eat those. Like you get dogged on if you eat those.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. Well, as it should be.
Yeah.
Favorite animal?
Oh, okay. This is kind of basic. I'm sorry, but currently a tiger. I gotta say it. So,
is there a reason or just
Princeton? Got it. Tigers.
Okay, fair enough. That's a valid reason to like a basic animal.
Yeah.
And then of course the Detroit Tigers are city's very not good baseball team.
Yeah.
Which is I don't even watch them anymore because I've gotten to a point where until Avila's fired, I'm like, no baseball.
I don't know the last time I went to a Tigers game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I went to like one this year, but I haven't watched like anything. I've watched a few games. I watched opening day because I was super excited because like they brought up like Torkelson and they signed a bunch of like guys that they like ended up having a comeback win, and the rest of the season has been a roller coaster, just to say the least.
I've been to 3 MLB games this year, but none of them have been the Tigers.
What games or what teams?
Okay, so a fun fact about me, I'm trying to go to like every MLB stadium. So like we were in Colorado during like 4th of July week. So went to the Coors Field to watch Rockies and Dodgers. And then I was just in California. So we went to a Dodgers game out there. They played the Nationals. And then I 2 days ago on Thursday, I went to an Angels game and they played, I don't know, remember who they played. The Rangers. They played the Rangers.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been, like I wouldn't say that's one of my goals. Like I'd love to do that, but like some of those teams, like I don't really know. Like actually, I'm going to DC this week, so hopefully I'll go to a Nationals game. But I'm not like actively going on trips to go.
Yeah.
But if like I'm on a trip, I'm going to go to the game.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. I'm not going to the state just for the games. It's I'm going for other reasons, and then we just go because it's like close and reasonable distance.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Might as well go to random stadiums, you know?
I mean, you're out there.
Yeah, exactly. And if you could live anywhere, where would you live?
I could live anywhere. I went to Hawaii once. I loved Hawaii. I like fruit. I like tropical vibes, like being on the beach. It's probably Hawaii.
Hawaii? That's cool.
And it's very like secluded, so it wouldn't be like a ton of people and everything.
Yeah. I've never been there. Is it as advertised?
Yes, very much so.
Are there active volcanoes every day, or is that just like the
No,
stereotype? Okay,
that's just like a stereotype.
all right. I've never seen an active volcano, which like I guess makes sense. I bet a lot of people have not seen active
I have
volcanoes.
not seen one. I do not plan on seeing one. I hope I never have to see one.
I kind of want to see one. There's cool videos of like people shooting like drones over them and stuff. Like it looks really cool. Like I wouldn't want to touch it, obviously,
Yeah, no.
but yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start working towards the sports questions. So, as I already mentioned, you play softball. Do you play any other sports or have played?
I dabbled in basketball in like middle school, beginning of high school, but I feel like everybody does that. They have some little sport that they do or play basketball or something. So that's what I did. And then I quickly dropped it.
Why'd you drop it?
I I wasn't horrible. I was like average, but it wasn't to the point where I was like, I just didn't want to do it. Cause like, you know how like people take like I take softball seriously, they take basketball seriously. So like an average Joe against like a really good basketball player, it just does not go well. I have a lot of self-respect. I just yeah, no.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't play basketball anymore, partially because like I'm not really tall enough for it. Like I'm 5'5", which is like generally short. Like for the other sports I play, it doesn't matter as much. Like I play football and baseball, where it doesn't matter as much. With basketball, you have to be like 6 foot or you're not.
Yeah.
And then how long have you played softball?
Oh, I started at T-ball level, so like 4, and I started my first travel team when I was 8. So 10 years now. Wow.
Wow. Why did you start playing that sport? Did your parents get you into it, or did you just?
Yeah, my grandpa was a big baseball fan. He played baseball at state and he loves the Red Sox, big Ted Williams fan. And then my dad played baseball. He played at Kellogg Community Center. And then he got me into it. So that's how it started.
That's cool. So very athletic family then.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's really cool. What position do you play, or positions?
I played middle infield. So for high school, I played shortstop. For my travel team, I played shortstop. And then going to Princeton, I will probably play second base.
Just to start off, you think you'll play second base, or are you going to try to do it like up when in your upperclassmen years? Are you going to try to switch back to short?
I think freshman, sophomore, I'll be second base, junior, senior, shortstop.
All right. Why do you like playing that position? Like, why'd you choose playing this position over playing outfield or first base?
Ooh, okay. I like shortstop the best because that's like, to me personally, I feel like that's like the leader of the field, or at least the infield. Because shortstop, like, you got to be loud, you got to be a leader, you got to like tell people, like, talk each play. And there's always somewhere for like the shortstop to be like, ground ball to third, you're at second base, or like ground ball to me, I'm going one. There's always somewhere you have to be. And I'm a very energetic, moving person, and I want to be involved in every single play. Whereas like outfield, we love the outfield, but they are not in a basic routine play to the pitcher. They're not involved in any way. So I just need to be always moving.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch any professional softball and like model your game after, or college softball?
Yeah, I am a big college softball fan. I love watching it. I've been to the Women's College World Series 3 times. I love it. But I probably model my game after Sierra Romero. She graduated 2015 from Michigan, and I think she broke the record at Michigan for like most hits, most home runs. She played second base. I'm a big fan of her. And I'm a big fan of her brother now because he just got drafted to the Red Sox. So I'm a big Romero family fan.
Is your favorite team the Red Sox then, or?
Yes, I love the Red Sox. We're getting a dog, and we're naming it Teddy after Ted Williams.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a great name, Teddy. So you mentioned you went to the 3 College World Series games. What were the teams in the World Series at those times?
Okay. Oh God.
Making you think.
Yeah. Okay. The one year I know for sure Oklahoma won. Oh God. Okay. So the first one I went was when it was like 2016 because it was when the two Romero 2015 I think 2016. So when the two Romero sisters played each other, Sierra was like a senior and Signee was a freshman. They played each other in it. I think UCLA won one, and the other one, oh God, Florida, I think. I believe that's right.
I don't really know like what schools are like good for like softball because I don't really follow it. I like watching it. It's very entertaining to me because they're so good and they're super energetic. It's a change from like a lot of other sports like where they're not as like expressive sometimes. So it's really entertaining and they're also talented, but
Mhm.
I don't follow it much. Is there a professional league?
Yeah, there is. It's through Athletes Unlimited. It does that,
Oh, yeah,
but
I've just never like heard if there is one.
it's nothing. Yeah, it's not like the MLB.
All right. And then when would you say you started considering that playing softball at the next level was like something that you can do or something you wanted to do?
7th grade, 8th grade, middle school, yeah. So, because my 8th grade year, they did the rule change of you have to wait now till September 1st of your junior year. So we were getting recruited when we were like 12, 13, 14. And then they did the rule change. So we couldn't talk to them anymore. And then we could talk to them again September of our junior year.
So were you talking to colleges in 7th and 8th grade then?
We were getting scouted. So I don't like they would like come to our games, watch our profiles, talk to our coaches, that type of thing. But like nothing to where I was gonna like commit.
All right. And then I forgot to ask this a while ago. What travel team do you play for?
Finesse fast pitch out of Wixom in the big Total Sports Dome out
Oh, it's cool. I played
there.
for Total Baseball actually, and that was an experience. I'll say that right now. Okay, move on. What training do you do for softball? Like, what do you do like with your team, or what do you do like by yourself if you do stuff?
Okay, so normally, just like an average day, I'll wake up, I'll go to the Hit Dogs facility in Rochester Hills off of Crooks, and I'll go and hit for an hour, and then I'll go to conditioning for an hour, and then I go to lift for an hour and a half, and then depending on the day, either I'll go and take ground balls or like as of right now, I'm working on like my conditioning test for Princeton because we do that. We have that September 9th. So I'm currently like working on that and like passing because no one wants to be that freshman that like everybody passes except that one freshman. Yeah, don't want to be that freshman.
Hmm.
So I'm currently working on that a lot too.
So, how many days a week would you say you train?
Like I usually lift and run Monday through Friday, and Saturday, Sunday I'll just do like little hitting. So I would say roughly 5 days, 6 maybe.
Does your college coach have you on a program, or like just
Mm,
what does that entail?
okay, so we got a big packet sent out from our coach and our trainer. So like our run test is like so we run the width of a football field down and back 3 times, but it's like so it's like 2 sets of like down, 15-second rest, back, 15-second down, back, and then one in total down and back. And that's 1 set. We have to do that 4 times. That's our conditioning test. And then for lifts, there's like different days. Like there's like a lower day, upper day, full body. It's a lot of oh my God, what's the word? Mobility stuff to be
Yeah,
like agile and like external rotation for like arms and like hip stuff because I my hips aren't the most mobile, so I have a lot of hip stuff I do.
yeah. Mobility is very important, especially in like sports like baseball and softball. Because like when I don't know if you pitch at all
No,
or
we
have
don't.
pitched, but like with pitching for baseball, it's a lot of mobility. For hitting, it's a lot. You want to get like the hip to shoulder separation, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
mobility workouts are always great. Do you do any like explosive workouts? Because that's something that I personally do a lot. Like,
I wouldn't say I do that much of it, like here and there, but nothing like kind of daily.
yeah, like, that's something that I found works a lot, especially for baseball. for pitching, because baseball is like a start-stop sport. Like you're standing there for 10 minutes and then, a ball's hit. Like I play outfield, so it's a lot less boring, or a lot more boring for me. But like if a ball's hit, I need to like be ready to go and chase after it. So like just the explosive stuff I found works pretty well. So so far in your career, which of your seasons would you say you've been most proud of, or which has been your favorite season?
Okay, so I technically only had 3 seasons, right? Because we had COVID. So okay, either my freshman year, because that's when we won states, and that was a big year for me personally because we won, and like freshman's not typical that you go in your freshman year and you start on varsity every game. So I did that. So that was a really like proud moment for me, I feel like, because like I don't know, I'm a little 14-year-old playing with like 17, 18-year-olds and like doing like well. Like I wouldn't say like that was my best season stat wise, but it was my best season like because we won it all. But also my senior year, I had 18 home runs my senior year, and being able to like get added into like the books for like most home runs. I broke my school's like home run record and RBI record. So that was cool too. So I don't know. I like them both for different reasons. Cause I would say like 2019 was like a big team year personally. And like my senior season was kind of like, not like a me year, but kind of like I did a ton of cool stuff like on my own, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, it's really cool. Starting, what position did you start when you were starting as a freshman?
Short.
You were the starting shortstop on a state championship team. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. As a freshman, that's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself for that. So, when would you say your college recruiting journey started?
September 1st, my junior year. That's when it started.
And what was like the first camp you went to, or what were some camps that you'd recommend that softball players would go to for exposure or just to get better?
Okay, so softball is different than baseball, right? Because baseball, in the sense, you have all like the PBR, perfect game, all those big recruiting platforms and showcases that you can do. The softball is not like that at all. For recruiting softball, you have to go to like whatever school's camp you want to, like on their campus, and get like right in their coach's face. And that's like the best way to figure out if you really like want to go to that school or not, because you are right on campus. You get the feel right away because you're with the coaches, you're on the campus. Like it's basically a controlled environment of like what an everyday practice would be like if you were on the team. And so that was a big thing for me. I was doing that since 8th grade. I did a ton of camps, traveled to like a ton of different like colleges. And then another big one for me was just email. That's the one thing that we do have in similar to baseball is the whole email thing. But I feel like softball's a little more on the competitive edge of getting recruited, I guess, because baseball, you have all the perfect game stats right there, like your PBR stats, and like softball, you kind of have to like work a little more and like prove yourself every time because there is no big like recruiting platform like that, if you will.
Mm-hmm. What were some of the schools that you went to their camps?
Okay, so I always knew I wanted to do Ivy League. So I've been to every Ivy League campus besides Brown. So I did a camp at Yale, I did a camp at Harvard, I did a camp at Dartmouth, Columbia, Princeton, obviously. Like I've done most of my camps were Ivy League based camps because I always knew I wanted to go Ivy League.
Wow, that's really cool. What well, actually that's a stupid question. I was gonna ask what's your favorite of those camps, but I'm assuming it's gonna be Princeton.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense. What was your first college offer, and what does an offer entail for softball?
Okay, so my answer is gonna be different than like your normal answer because I took my ACT 4 times because for Ivy League you have to be able to get in as a student first before an athlete, because Ivy Leagues are more, they call you student athletes, right? But like at Ivy Leagues you're really a student first and then an athlete second. And I don't know how many schools can really like say that per se.
Yeah.
But so I took my ACT a ton because they were like, you need to get 29, you need to get 29 to like be able to really like, because they don't want to look stupid on their behalf, right? Like if you can't necessarily get in because they don't want you to fail. So I took it 4 times. My first offer I got was from Cornell. And fun fact, actually, if you go and like look on Ivy League kids' like commitment posts, they never technically say I'm committed to XYZ. They have to say I'm committed to the academic, or is that what it's, I think so it's called now, or committed to the app. Oh, you're committed to the application process at so and so, because you can't technically say you're committed to XYZ because you're not in yet, if you will.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because so that's why you have to like word your stuff kind of weird when you commit to an Ivy League, because you're technically you're committed there, but you're not in. So you're not allowed to go online and say I'm committed to. You have to say I'm committed to the application process. It's a little different. Everything about Ivy League's a little different because there's no athletic scholarships. You have to like the wording, like the way they do stuff is all just different. Like and then for softball too, like we start 2 weeks later than everybody else because that's our conference. Like that's when our conference allows us to start. Everything's just a little slower with the Ivy Leagues, if you will, recruiting wise.
Wow, that's really cool. I didn't know a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so what were some of the factors that led you to committing to Princeton over like a non-Ivy League school or other Ivy League schools?
Okay, so my biggest thing for me was that I wanted to be able to get into a school like that I would not have been able to get into on my own. So I used softball as a way to help me get into Princeton, if you will. And what sold me on them was their coaching staff is very family oriented. They like do a ton of research into like who you are as a person, what your family's like. They want to like know you because they're going to be stuck with you for 4 years and see you every day for 4 years. So it was cool to like know that she actually like cared about me as a person, and like not just like Abby the softball player, but like who Abby is outside of softball. And then like the campus, I felt really safe, like because I'm going to be 10 hours away from Michigan, so I want to like be able to like feel like I'm going to be okay out there. And the campus was super nice. It's like, have you ever been to downtown Birmingham?
I have been. If you're talking about the Birmingham in Michigan, then yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have been to downtown Birmingham. Then.
Okay, that's how the campus is. So it's very nice, and it's very like small, and it is cute. I like it.
Oh, that's really cool. Where is Princeton? Is it New Jersey? I don't think it's okay. I just wanted to double check. Does Princeton make exceptions for academics in the application process, or do you have to be like on the same level as a bunch of other students?
Okay.
Took a second.
Yeah. So I filled out the application like the exact same one everyone else would fill out. Only difference is I got a letter submitted on my behalf from my coach. So basically as long as you have a coach letter, you're in. The only way if you're an athlete that you're not getting in is if like you like failed out of your classes or like just dropped out of high school, or like you had some like it's like you went to jail or some like crazy circumstance.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have like a letter of recommendation from your coach in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what are you most excited for about playing in college or going to Princeton?
I'm excited to just take my game to the next level, play at the next level. Like I always want to be the best possible version of Abby Hornberger that like I can be. And so like being able to like get pushed and being able to grow as an athlete, I'm excited for that.
What are some of the goals, long-term and short-term, that you have for college?
Okay. Short term right now, going in as a freshman, my goal is to go in and take someone's job and like go in and start right away. I guess you consider that a short term or long term goal. I consider it short term because
that's what I meant by short term. So you hit that right in the spot.
Yeah. And then long term, like shooting forward towards May, winning the Ivy League again this year.
Is Princeton a successful like softball program? I don't know much about them, so.
Yeah, so we have the most Ivy League titles in softball, and we won regular season and the tournament this year.
Oh,
So
nice.
we got to regionals this year. So that was cool.
That's awesome. Because I know Ivy League is it D1 or D2?
It's one.
I thought it was one, but is it FCS then?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you guys eligible to be in the like College World Series if
Yeah.
you guys make it that far? Okay.
Yeah. So we were in Arkansas's regional this year.
Oh, that's really cool. And then what are you gonna major in? And like what do you want to do after softball?
So I'm doing economics. And then after I get my undergrad in that, I will probably end up going to law school.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Do you want to be like a lawyer, or are there other jobs that you can do with law school?
Yeah, I want to be a lawyer. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. Some sort of like I don't know what type yet. I have a few in mind, but like I feel like economics is really gonna like uh help me figure out a path of what I want to do because it's so broad and you can use it in so many different other like degrees, if you will.
What makes you want to be a lawyer?
Oh, okay, so I just love, this sounds bad, but I just like arguing. I just like always being right. And
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, I just like to, I want to make the world like a better place. Like that's like my goal is to like wherever you go, leave it better than you found it. Like starting with
Mhm.
like the dugout, right? Like that's like a big thing. You always never want to leave it messy. So that's my big thing. I want to help make a difference.
That's really cool. So arguing's the reason. That's a great reason for it, by the way.
Yeah.
Just that would actually be fun. Like I also like arguing.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's not good that I like arguing because it gets on people's nerves, but like that's like I'm sure that that'll be a fun job for you. Uh what advice do you have for athletes that are trying to get recruited?
Go to camps, email. I think camps are the best thing you can do because you are right in front of the coaching staff. You're right in front of the players. If you have questions about the school, they're right there to help you and give you advice, and they can see everything. And like, and you can tell right away too by how they run their camp, how they're going to run their practice, how they treat their players, that type of thing.
All right. And now we're gonna work towards the academic side of things. Since you are valedictorian at your school and then senior class president, that's very impressive on top of being a extremely good softball player.
Thank you.
How did you find a way to balance like school softball and being the class president?
So my like normal high school schedule, I'd wake up, go to school, then I would go right away to lift, and then right when I finished lift, I'd go home and just crank out my homework at night, then just put the phone down and just do my homework because like love technology, but the phones are such a distraction when it comes to getting stuff done.
Yes.
And so that's like my best advice: put the phone away, get it done, and like when you have time to do it, do it. Like I'd have a couple like free periods in school, so I would just do it then because no one wants to have homework. Just get it done while you're in school, and you can't do anything else.
How many hours of homework a night did you have, just out of curiosity?
Depending on the day, probably like 2 on average.
Wow. What are some effective study techniques that you found work best for you, or for just generally everyone?
Okay, so for me, so there's those people that could like go and sit in class and then check something over for 5 minutes and then take a test and like get 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of what I do.
yeah, I have to like grind to like get my stuff done, like really like study hard and like memorize it. So like what I found worked best for me is if I like studied and could be able to like teach the topic to someone else. Like if I knew it well enough to teach it, then I was ready for the class type thing. Also Quizlet. Love Quizlet.
Quizlet is the best,
That's a big one.
actually. Quizlet's it's been such a help for like multiple things, not even just school. just like memorizing lines for musicals for me, like Quizlet, like that's what I do. I would just put each of my lines in the Quizlet in the line before it, and I have to like just type it out. Just like it helps so much. Like that's the study tool that I'd recommend to everyone.
Mhm.
And what path did you take that led you being valedictorian? Did you take like AP classes? Did you take like early college?
Okay, yeah. So I went to Catholic high school, so we had to take placement tests, which is not a thing for public school. We had to take a placement one. So going into my freshman year, took this big 2 hour long test. I got after taking the test, I got put into all honors classes, and then from there on out, I just took the honors path.
What like what was your final GPA? Just for curiosity.
4.3.
That's insane. That's actually crazy. 4.3. I didn't even know that was like possible. Because the highest at our school, I think ever. I forget what hers was. Carol Pierce is our school's valedictorian, and
Okay.
she had like a super high GPA, but it was not that high. That's 4.3. That's insane. Was valedictorian like a goal of yours going into high school?
No, I did not think that was an option at all. So I did public school K through 8, and then I did private. But in public school, I was not in like honors classes or anything. So that was never like a thing in my mind until about junior year, I would say, when I realized like, oh shoot, like I can actually be valedictorian. Like I might like you don't really like process that because like everyone's trying to get all A's, right? Like no
Mhm.
one's goal is to like get all C's. Like
Yeah.
everyone wants to do like the best that they can. And then when I realized, oh wow, I got all A's the first 2 years, I could do it. And it was actually more stressful probably senior year than any other year, right? Because senior year, you're almost at the finish line. So, like, that would be the worst feeling ever, right? To grind your butt off all 3 years or like 4.5, then get to like the second semester or first semester and like get a B. So it's more
Mhm.
stressful senior year, right? When you're almost there, not close enough. You're almost there. And then like to lose that, I would have cried. But thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah. And then being both an above average student and athlete, was balancing your sports and academics more difficult than your teammates, do you think?
Uh, I don't know. I don't want to speak on that, right? Because a class for me that might be hard would be easy for someone, or like a class that I found easy could be hard for someone else. So I mean, and plus different people learn different ways. Like there could be someone who is not an athlete but is still has a ton of homework because that's just how they are as a learner. But I mean, me personally, I felt like because I like by senior year, I was like, okay, I got it down with my schedule. Like for me, it was like I was okay with it, and I knew what my schedule would be like. I don't know if I would say it would harder or easier than everyone else because there's other people, right, who instead of sports they have a job that they
Mhm.
do. So I mean, I don't want to speak on that, but I think for me it was okay.
Was there anything you had to sacrifice, like in order to stay at the top of your academic game and focus on doing that, or did you
Uh,
not sacrifice stuff? You just got valedictorian because the hard work you put in.
I mean, when I was going through my 4 ACTs phases, there was a lot of like not going out as much or like going to parties, that type of stuff. And then like with season and training and everything, when it got to like winter, spring, there was like not a lot of that either. But I mean, for the most part, I nothing crazy. Like I still went to prom, I still did homecoming, still did powder puff. Like I did all your basic high school things. It was just some weekends I was studying the ACT instead of like going to hang out with my friends.
Mhm. And then once you got to a position that like you realized you'd be valedictorian, did you feel like pressure to perform almost?
Yeah. My family doesn't put pressure on me when it comes to academics because like if I study really hard for a class and get like a B, like they're still proud of me either way because like like as long as I apply effort, it's okay. I think it was just more pressure for me because you don't want to lose it that close. Like it'd be a me thing because then I have to live with that the rest of my life. Like, oh my God, I could have been valedictorian up until second semester, my senior year, got a B type thing.
Mm-hmm. And then was there ever points in your career where you felt like overwhelmed, and then like, just what caused that, if so?
I think the most I felt overwhelmed was going through the recruiting process because like I was told a lot during it, like it's not a 4-year decision, it's a 40-year decision. So I was just wanted to make certain like that the school I chose to be the right school for me. Cause like no one wants to go and commit and then decommit and then have to go through the recruiting process all over again. So like when I made my decision, like the first time I wanted to be the last time and like the right decision.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so now we're gonna look back on your high school career and your accolades and accomplishments. So I'm gonna go through a couple of the things that you sent me. So you're a 4-year varsity starter and captain. So were you a captain for 4 years, or?
No, just my senior year.
That's awesome though. That
Thank
you're
you.
4 years start. I can't get over the fact that you start at short too. That's like the position where it's like hard, almost hardest to start because that's such an important position. So you were the National High School Player of the Week on May 3rd, 2022. So what happened that week that led up to that? Like how just lead us through that week.
So there's 7 days in a week, right? I had 8 home runs in that week. So
How many games did you play?
okay, so week is from like Sunday to Saturday. That's what they count as a week.
Mhm.
So 2 on Sunday, 2 on Monday. We played a 1 game midweek, and then 2 on Friday. So what is that? 7?
Wow. 8 home runs in 7 games. That's really impressive.
Thank
That
you.
makes sense why you got that award then.
Thank you.
What was your batting average by the end of the year? Just out of curiosity.
I think I was 500.
Wow.
And that's
awesome.
like with Catholic League at bats with 1-1 count.
Yeah, I can't. So we played like Roseville, and for some reason, like we had to use the Catholic League. So it was our first game of the season. So it was like to save arms or whatever.
I've never
But
heard of public school use Catholic League rules.
it
That's
was, yeah, it was. I did not like it, but
it's
I think
not
it
fun.
was. I think it was because like it was the first game of the season, and they're trying to like build arms up or something. Like I still think it's dumb. But
It's horrible. It's so
it's
bad.
because it totally screws up my mentality when I go up to bat. I have a hard time swinging it. Like I have a good swing when I do swing. Just I'm such an overthinker when I'm hitting, so I won't swing at the perfect pitch. I'm like, oh, I can get a better one.
Mhm.
So my mentality, I try to just swing at the first pitch if it's remotely close to a strike, because generally I can hit it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a better pitcher, then I'll take a more conservative approach. But so playing in the Catholic League one, if I have one swing, I'm in like a 1-2 count, and then I have to like choke up on the bat. So it's like it's super frustrating for me to play in like a Catholic League.
It is so hard, especially when you have midweek game series against non-conference people, and then you do regular 4-3 counts, then you backtrack to 1-1. It's just so hard. And then you have a lot of 2 pitches that are borderline, and then it's like, oh crap, now I'm 1-2. It's hard, but it's okay. I mean, I think it's almost worse for baseball because I have a lot of friends in the St. Mary's team. My boyfriend went to St. Mary's. So we would like when we'd go watch the game, it's like it's not even fair. Like if Brock would pitch, Brock Porter,
Yeah.
we would just go and watch Brock pitch. And it's just funny because then he just comes out after and he's just like, yeah, I mean, it's 2 pitches and that's a K for me. Like that's the easiest K I'm ever gonna get.
I actually didn't think about that, about Orchard, like Lake St. Mary's being, because then they have to go into like regionals and stuff and not have that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder, like, it didn't end up being a big adjustment because they won the state championship. Like the only team that like made it hard on them was North in the finals, and they beat them 1-0, which is insane for a team like North to do that. Because it's like like I know like Brock Porter didn't pitch the finals because he pitched the semifinals, but
Yeah,
still,
Kieran.
yeah, but like just still the fact they held that insane Orchard Lake St. Mary's team to 1 run. That's like that team is historically good. Like we're not going to see a Michigan team like that for a while.
No.
Just the fact that they had like backups going like the low D1 and stuff. It's such a good team. So you also made the M Live Metro Detroit Dream Team. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you already mentioned this, 18 home runs, which that's actually crazy. That's you said that's top 10 in the state, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then you were the 2021 USA Softball National Champion. So did you play on the national team or?
Yes, that was in my travel team. We won that last year.
Wow. So you can say your travel team's the best team in the country.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank
So take us through that tournament.
Okay. So it was a crazy week for us. So it was in Virginia, and we going into a big tournament, right? You never think your team's gonna win. Like you always want to like do your best and stuff, but like with like a big tournament, you're like you never think you're gonna win. Like you always try, you try to win. Don't get me wrong, but like you never think your team's gonna be like the team to win.
Yeah.
So we were just playing and playing, and we're like, oh, like it was just having fun at the end of the day. Like we never lost one game in that whole tournament. And I think it was just because we were just all so close, and we all kind of just like we were having fun. It was not like a big stress environment. Our coach is amazing. He was almost in a sense we were our coaches. Like we don't get screamed at, none of it. And then it was funny. So the last day we missed our flight because we were playing. So then we all just had a carpool back. It was funny.
Oh wow.
But it was like a cool experience, something that like I'll never forget.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
So these are questions I ask everyone, and who would you say is the most talented person you have played with?
Oh, I've played with. Oh,
If you
okay.
have to give like a top 3, that's totally fine. I understand some people like have stuff like that.
Okay, so I played for a team out of Indiana for 3 years, from 8th grade to sophomore year. So, and I'm still really close with the girls today. Like they all texted me on my birthday the other day. Like love them. So there's a girl on that team. She's going to Kentucky. Her name's Chris Hamilton. She's like insane. Like everything. Like she's just she's a catcher. She's amazing. She's probably one of the best people I've played with.
And then who would you say is the hardest person or best person you've had to face?
Okay, probably Keegan Rothrock. She's going to Florida. She won the National Gatorade Player of the Year for softball. She's insane.
Seriously? Well, how'd you play against her?
Travel ball. You know, you probably know how it is too. Like when you get in the travel ball world, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
You're friends with everyone. Like. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. You said she's going to Florida, or she goes to Florida?
She's going to Florida. She's a rising senior this year.
All right. So then my age then.
Yes.
Sweet. And so just what motivates you as a player just to get better?
So for a long time, it was getting to college. That would always motivate me, right? Like go get get a spot somewhere, go like get on a roster. Like that was my big thing. And then my motivation during high school was to like go and like I did not like entering high school. My goal was not to like have 18 home runs this year. My goal was to just be consistent. And then now it's going into Princeton and taking someone's spot. That's my goal right now. Go and start as a freshman in a month. That's currently my goal. So that's what motivates me every day.
And best of luck to you on that. So that's all I have for today. So do you have anyone you want to thank or anyone that you want to just shout out for some of the success.
Well, thanks for inviting me onto this. This was so fun. I've never had to do like a podcast before, so this was really a cool experience. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
And then obviously, the basics. My parents, love them. I would not be here without them. Been like my coaches. But thanks for your amazing questions. This was so fun. Love this.
Thank you. Yeah, this is great. All right. Yeah, thanks for coming on, Abby.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to thank Abby for coming on to today's show. She's a very talented athlete and well-rounded person, and I really enjoyed this interview. I'll have her socials linked in the bio. If you're new here, catch up on all the episodes that you've missed. As always, my name is Calvin Custins, and this is The Blueprint.